again. This is a little bit of pre-work play. Still doing Hemi things. There it is, in roughly the same configuration as you saw it last time.
I've just tightened up all the bolts on the cover and the water pump, located all the proper bolts. One problem we have with this engine is I found during disassembly there were a number of bolts missing. So we're going to have to go to Copper State Nut and Bolt, get what we need so we can finish the reassembly. But right now I've got things I can plug along
now. We did find it, how many transmission?
2 bell housing bolts. The ones at the lower end of the bell housing just above the oil pan interface were not installed.
Yep.
So, yay. I know they're hard to get to, people, but you got to put them back in.
Right? Come on.
Right now I'm basically just buttoning up the front end of the motor. If I've got time before we need to leave for work, here in a little bit I'll crawl underneath and rebolt the oil pan.
So after yesterday and lots of research and talking to people and scratching our heads and humming and drumming and deciding what it is we wanted to do, we have decided to go ahead and home resurface the single cylinder that is bad on these heads, which is this one here. So we're going to get rid of the high spots, and we're going to go ahead and stab that in the engine and say screw it and fire and be damned. And if it ruins the head, it's not ruining a perfect head, so screw it. We're just going to go with it.
But my concern is the peaks, the high spots, can become hot spots and cause pre-ignition, which could have been, I mean, we had 3 cylinders with valve drop damage. We're only going to have 1 with these extra heads.
Yeah.
And the engine codes, we were definitely getting a misfire on number 8, but also random misfire. And the random misfires could have been the chunked up heads.
Yeah. So Jeff did get up a little bit earlier than I did, and he did install the lifters. So now we do have non-MDS lifters in this, and they are probably torqued tight.
Yeah.
Unlike when we took it apart and you could just pull the lifter cages or lifter baskets or whatever the hell they called. I think they called them lifter baskets.
You know, I've heard basket quite a few different times, so
I've heard
probably
basket. I'm going with basket. We're saying baskets. So, yeah, these baskets here were loose. Like, we could take them out with our hands.
2 of them didn't require any
trays,
turning.
lifter trays. So says okay. Hillbilly Bob. Thank you so much. We appreciate appropriate terminology. So, yeah. We actually have a video of that. So if anybody wants to find that video, it's ridiculous. You could reach in and just take it out. They didn't tighten it at all. It's amazing that this engine didn't grenade itself in the little bit that it was driven. Yeah, with how horrible it was put together.
Nothing was holding the lifters from turning. If they turn, the roller doesn't engage and it starts chewing apart the engine. Pretty sure that's what's wrong with my truck. It's a common issue.
So yeah, we've decided we're going to go ahead and clean up that head. And so we'll have that one head that's got, 1 cylinder as opposed to what was on this. And it's crazy because this thing, when we got it, seemed to run really good other than, smoking like it had a 2-pack-a-day habit.
So going back and watching the short we did, with me starting it and you getting the video, it sounds like it's misfiring. Now that I'm listening to the video.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, we now have the non-MDS lifters in there.
The solenoid delete. And a stage 2 cam.
Yep, solenoid delete, which are those right there. And the stage 2 cam. And then long tube headers.
Well, one's in place at the moment.
Yeah, one's in place.
I kind of just stabbed it in there to see if it fit. Too bad we didn't get this deep into anything when we were younger.
Right? That would have been a lot of fun.
The Montego.
Oh, man.
Oh. So we used to have, back in what, 2000?
Yes.
We had a 1970 Mercury Montego. It was either a 350 or a 302 or a 351 in it. I think it was a 302, and the thing was awesome. We didn't know what we were doing. It had a bunch of oil leaks that, looking back, I'm pretty sure were just valve cover.
Yep.
And while showing off for a friend, I broke an engine mount. We didn't know how to fix that at the time. We were young and dumb and did not know. A floor jack and about $100 worth of parts, and we would have been done.
Yep. Entertainingly enough, we got that Montego for free. We traded a 1970 F-250 that we got for free for that Montego. Good times back in the day when you could get stuff like that for free because people were like, just get it off my property.
Hey, that's power steering.
So, you're saying it's ready to drive?
Yeah, sure.
All right, great. Let's go.
Okay, it's at the end of that, so that'll drop back in later. Yeah, we'll drive it around without heads. I'm sure it'll still work.
Oh, it'll be fine. The pistons will really be able to breathe.
And this is where we start getting into the missing bolts.
Right? Did you check the transmission bell housing? That's where apparently the spare bolts come from.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Chris31 says, "Good day, mate."
Ah, Ozzy.
Good day.
How you doing? Yep. Gotta find the right bolts. This might be a situation where I filled in missing bolts
Right.
with other bolts.
Right.
Because that was one of the alternator bolts. The other two should be here.
Alternatively, you could use a different bolt.
Yeah, I don't have anything that size anymore.
I know. I figured that. That's why you're still looking for bolts.
Wait. Maybe.
Possibly.
Hooray!
Yay! Bolt.
Thank you, Frankie. These are coming out of the spare bolt box.
Ooh, nice and early here. It is about 12:30 here. Myself and Jeff work weird hours, so we don't start work until mid-afternoon, so like 3 p.m.-ish. So we're trying to get up earlier and do things like this so that we can actually get the car running so it can get out and do things for its intended purpose. And
like
burnouts and make people smile and be another awesome station wagon. Oh, I saw one on the road the other day. RT2. Yeah, when me and Amanda went to Goodwill. Really nice. Like, really clean.
Clean or,
yeah.
or tricked out?
No,
Just
it
clean?
wasn't tricked out. Really clean. Oh, someone says, ever work on a 2.2 liter Chevy S10? Any advice for rebuilding?
Oh, LS swap it?
Ooh, it's 5:40 a.m. in Australia.
So I wouldn't know how to work on a 2.2 GM motor. It's all pretty straightforward. I would say get a book. Or watch some good YouTube videos. What?
Well, so we have file 13 in here, which is actually my buddy that has the green Challenger.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Sup, guys? Sup, man? How you doing?"
Well, hello.
So, yeah. Well, come over and we can take the top off your engine. Oh, yes, drop that 5.3 in there. That would be great.
Oh, for the S10?
Yes.
Yes.
They said they've got a 5.3 from an old Silverado. I want to use it eventually, but just don't like the body style of the second gen. Oh, there's nothing wrong with with those at all.
Yeah, you just end up in a personal preference scenario there. Okay, that's the alternator, and plug this girl back together.
Ooh, someone says just drop one in an El Camino. Nice. All right. There's a very good chance this thing will be running by next weekend.
We are hoping.
Hoping, yes. And then we'll see if we can break the transmission.
Yeah, because that'll be the next thing to break. Either that or the differential, or we'll spit the drive shaft.
Right? That would be horrible.
Yeah, I've done that one once. Ugh. Alright, deciding what to just tackle next.
Right?
That's some pretty serious progress already for just, 30 minutes of fucking around.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, just the fact that you got up this morning and, put the lifters in properly.
Yeah. Yeah, lubed them up, slipped them in. I should have taken video. Oh, man.
I'm telling you that the fact that those were just, some of them were finger tight was just insane.
Well, yeah, it wasn't causing the issues we were having right then and there, but if one of those lifters would have rotated,
oh yeah,
it just destroys the
gone.
engine.
Yeah. Ooh, File 13 says looking to get an old Freightliner like Optimus Prime. That would be incredible. I just wouldn't have anywhere to put it.
Right? Oh my goodness. And you're looking at a lot of money for a freaking tractor trailer.
You see these two doing side-by-side burnouts?
So once again, we're installing comp cam components, not sponsored.
Oh, just want the truck, not the trailer, huh?
Oh.
So for anybody that hasn't been here before, stage 2 comp cam kit, MDS delete. Long tube headers going in, should be in the range of about 450 horsepower, roughly.
430 to 450 is my conservative estimate, but I can't wait to get it on a dyno, get it tuned properly, because we can't tune it, and find out what it's really pushing.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this smoke and then crawl underneath, reattach that oil pan.
Yay, oil pan. But pretty. Oh, it yells at me every time I go sideways. Pretty new lifters. Now, the old ones look bad. That's the thing. Like, they were new. Like, the old lifter trays, now that we have the appropriate term.
Here's an old lifter.
There's an old lifter right there.
And they're in great shape. None of them are chewed up. They're not old. They replaced these. But these lifter trays were just floppy. These screws weren't even tight.
Yeah, they didn't tighten them in at all. You could just reach in and
which, if we didn't want to change the cam to a stage 2, all I would have had to do is tighten them up and call it good. But
yeah. So this is a 2005 Dodge Magnum RT. And let's see. Was it the Buick that had suicide doors? I'm not. Buick suicide doors? I think the only ones that I know of that had suicide doors were the Lincolns.
Yeah,
like the Continentals.
Yeah, Continentals.
The Continentals had suicide doors.
A lot of cars had suicide doors at one point, but I think The Continental was the last.
Oh, you did rotate that to TDC. So there's that cylinder 8. Stop yelling at me. It's right.
And we're a little dirty because the engine's been open for a couple of days, but everything's going to get cleaned up before we button the heads back up.
Yeah, Green Hornet. It was a Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Lincoln. Mm-hmm.
I almost bought one of those at one point.
I think I've almost bought one of those at a couple points.
Well,
there's that one at the top. That one looks nice. Really. I mean, just a tiny bit dirty, but it's there's no scoring on it.
Yeah, and everything in the cylinders looks good.
It's not that dirty. This little bit of rust is from because we had it open in the rain. It'll get clean. It'll be fine.
What?
Someone said, "Dirty girl needs a clean."
Yep.
And then I'm sorry. No, it's okay. This we are those people. We have dirty minds. It's okay. So we are not easily offended. We are both Gen X. At least Gen X adjacent.
It depends on when you actually draw the line.
Yeah. So, no worries there. Yeah, this thing should be amazing and mean and a total freaking blast to drive, and I cannot wait. And then for anybody that didn't see it, Richard, if you're still watching, I am getting ready to put in this right here, which will be really cool. I bought one of the Android Auto kits, so that's going to go in there. So that will be awesome. Can't wait to get that all in there. And of course I've got to, super glue all the dash stuff. And then we have to work on the ignition because as these do, it's broken. Because they're all plastic. Yep, jam the key in too hard and twist too hard and they break. Oh yeah, like the interior is really, really nice, all leather. I kind of showed this in yesterday's live. These RTs are really freaking awesome. It's got the LED change headlights, which are freaking great. Really nice bulbs in there too, like the high quality bulbs. I redid these taillights. They were all blacked out. It was horrible. And I spent a lot of time sanding and polishing those taillights to make them look like new again.
I do my best work on my back.
Yeah, sleeping.
Right. So sleepy.
That's how carburetors get rebuilt.
Hey, I rebuilt that. You just asked me in my sleep.
There's a fun story to that. Years and years ago with that 1970 F-250 that we mentioned, me and Jeff were both working at Arby's, and we were trying to get this truck running because we were planning on driving this truck halfway across the country to Chicago, and it needed a carburetor rebuild. And I went to work. Jeff had the day off. I was like, hey, while you're off, rebuild this carburetor. And he was like, yeah, no problem. It won't even take that long. And I came home, and he was asleep. And I was like, hey, you've been sleeping. Like, is the carburetor rebuilt? And he was like, no. Why would I do that? I'm sleeping tired. And I was like, dude, that's like the one thing I asked you to do. And so I went and started taking the carburetor apart. And he gets up and he's like, what are you doing? I'm rebuilding the carburetor. You said you didn't do it. And he's like, yes, I did. I was like, I asked you and you said you didn't. And he's like, but I did. I just asked you like 10 minutes ago. You said you didn't rebuild it. What? It's like, dude, I just asked you. I was sleeping. You answered a question in your sleep?
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
And apparently he does that sometimes.
Not always correctly.
Now understand, this was like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Me and Jeff have managed to maintain a friendship for that long, which is hilarious and ridiculous. And maybe good, maybe bad. To the detriment of both of us? To the detriment of our wallets?
Right?
So what Jeff is doing right now is tightening up the oil pan. Regrettably, we left the heads off and it rained, and that all drained into.
No, it was when I pulled the heads.
Oh.
I should have drained the oil first.
Yeah.
There was still some water in the channels, and it ended up in the oil.
Yeah.
So our brand new Royal Purple is dead.
Yeah, 7 quarts of Royal Purple, about $60 worth of oil, totally dead. I mean, we possibly could, recover it, but there's no point in taking that risk, so...
And I don't have a separation funnel. I'm not a chemist.
Yeah, so we'll just get... Oh, so your shirt is a lie?
Huh?
Your shirt is a lie.
Oh, I guess.
You're not going to try science?
Well, maybe not chemistry. Engineering, metallurgy.
But yeah, so we lost about 7 quarts of Royal Purple.
Good oil. Oh well.
And we do tend to roll with the best we can get, or supposedly, that's what.
Finnegan and Freiberger swear by it.
Yep. And that's what the Firebird over here, which still has a punch to the face. That'll be the next live, is tearing this thing apart to rebuild the front end after my little nose damage on the freeway. I have all the parts to fix it, just haven't had the time.
And it's still operational, so it's less of a priority.
Yep, still drives amazing.
It still does great burnouts.
Still does incredible burnouts.
Alright, air breather. Oh, hope I can figure out all this headlight wiring when we put this back in.
I know.
All that aftermarket stuff.
Right? The aftermarket headlights are really, really cool. I have a video I'll have to upload as a short. I didn't really realize I had it until the other day. But, yeah, it's coming along. The damage to the head was something we didn't expect to find. We didn't see it until we were damn near ready to start putting stuff back together. We thought the extra set of heads we had were good. So, we're going to fix them to the best of our ability and roll with it. See what happens. If anybody out there, works for Dodge and wants to send us a set of 3rd gen Hemi heads, we're down with that.
Right. Or a 6.1 intake.
Right? Or a Hellcat supercharger. Come on, people, share the love.
We will break everything if we supercharge this.
Yes, but it would be fun.
Oh yeah, it would. Detonating that transmission would be fun. Right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
So, yep, this is what we do for fun. This is part of our fun. Once this thing is all operational, it will go out to do burnouts and go to the drag strips and go to shows, and it's going to get all done up as a alternative Ecto 1. It's going to be a different type. It's going to have a light bar and everything like that. Going to do stuff for the charity organization that I run. So, you're going to be out in the world making kids happy and making adults smile and hopefully raising funds for the community and awareness for Down syndrome and autism and critical illnesses and everything like that, which, definitely doesn't get enough daily awareness. So that's what it will be doing once it's all done.
I like the fact that we're building another charity car for you, and I get to focus on the drive line and make it something really awesome.
Right? That cam that we put in there is very, very pretty. Comp Cams definitely knows how to make a very pretty cam.
Right?
Like, that thing is gorgeous. And Jeff did say it weighs about almost double.
Well, okay, I'd say 50% more. It's
50% more.
It's made of a much higher density steel.
It is. So look, it's tight. Tight.
Yeah, they're not coming out.
Tight. The way it's
Quite,
supposed to be.
Retard strength or anything.
Well, yeah, but... As Jeff tries to figure out where stuff goes.
It mounts to a bracket that's not installed yet. Yeah, these wires go into the cylinder, right? That's correct?
Totally.
All right.
Yeah. We're done, right?
Yeah, totally. Crank it.
Turn the key. Telling you, the cylinders are breathing really good.
I'm done poking for the day, though.
Yeah, it's fine. We're just into...
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to call this live good. I think we're done for now. Time to get ready for work and go make money.
So we can spend money on this.
So we can spend money on this. Thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, share our stuff with your friends. We appreciate it. This weekend should be lots more fun. So, thanks for coming and watching our ridiculousness.
Yeah, the PS pump bolts to the front of the